Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a few topics that I want to get into, definitely a few interesting things. First thing is apparently Suga's injury. We'll talk about what happened with that, what he said and all that stuff because he did respond to it. I also want to talk about Jimin's performance and apparently he was like made fun of. We'll talk about what happened, what he said, all that stuff. There was definitely some teasing going on with that one, so it is a bit of a lighter and fun one, so we will end with that one. So let's jump into the tea. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's jump into it. First up, apparently it is Jimin's birthday. I don't know if it's today or if it was like tomorrow, but there is like an overlap with Korean time. Either way, it has appeared up on my newsfeed that it is his birthday, so I'm going to say happy birthday to him. Hope you are well, and if anyone wants to celebrate with him today, I wish you the best in doing that, and I wish you happiness and fun with that. I hope everyone stays safe and social distances. Try not to party too hard. Okay, so now let's jump into Suga's injury. This was of course a little shocking to hear. We don't know exactly how this happened. I personally didn't really notice it right away. BTS does hide these things very well. Now this happened during the new BTS concert, the virtual concert if you will. Basically over the weekend, BTS did have a virtual concert that you could just kind of like enroll and get into. Enroll as if it's a class. Ooh, a BTS class. And you can just enjoy their little BTS concert. And overall in this concert, Suga did very well. He really killed it, okay? And I was overall just loving the performance. Apparently to the end of the opening performance of the concert, they were dancing, waving flags. It was really iconic. It looked like I was watching kind of like a cultural New Year's performance. And honestly looks like something you'd say for like the Super Bowl or something. Or like an opening at the Olympic Games. Do they do music and performances for Olympic Games? But right at the end, you saw the boys kind of lift up their hand. And most of them lifted up their hand all the way up. But Suga was the only one who didn't do that. Now, if you hadn't been in ARMY for a long time, or maybe you were like a newer fan, you know that when BTS doesn't nail every move perfectly, something's wrong. It's usually for a reason. Because they always nail it perfectly. I mean, if it's something that they physically can, of course. So if it's something like lifting your hand up, obviously Suga can do that. But if he were injured, he would not be able to. There was of course examples of this previously, like moments where Jimin could not fully bend down because there was something wrong with his legs. But this is obviously a more obvious one because you could clearly see that like, why isn't he bending his legs? But our boys get injured a lot, so this is nothing new to ARMYs. We kind of know what's going on. And about 90% of the time, I feel like us ARMYs, we can tell that there's a difference in performance, there's a difference in behavior, there's just a difference. And it's mainly because they always try to mimic the dance moves perfectly. And obviously that can cause some injuries, especially if those dance moves, your body wasn't made to bend that way. I mean, a lot of dance moves are like this. I don't know if this is the case for their scenario. And I definitely don't know if their particular dance moves are in any way dangerous. So I can't say 100% that's what's happening with them, but I know it does happen to dancers. Dancing in general requires a lot of physical strength. I'm sure you guys know this. So accidents can definitely happen. Also, our boys are very playful. They do silly things sometimes. They get injured that way. But this injury was very subtle. I was very shocked that ARMYs even noticed it. But hey, I am sure ARMYs replay everything 50 times and then realize, oh wait, that's kind of weird. Why didn't Suga give us full arm? What is this half arm nonsense? I'm joking. I'm sure ARMYs didn't actually say that. But I don't know if it was just that made ARMYs worry, or the slightly more obvious one which really tipped it off if you did not notice it the first time around. This is a moment where Suga bowed, and they were all supposed to take a bow, all of BTS. And both Jin and Taeyang were kind of next to him. So each Jin and Taeyang would take an arm of Suga. They would hold, they would link their hands together and then do a bow. The other members' arms were put all the way up, but of course the arms that were holding both Suga's arms, Jin and Taeyang kept them kind of down halfway, just to make sure they wouldn't hurt Suga's arms. This of course made ARMYs really worried, to the point where Yoongi's shoulder started trending on the Tweetster. Like, what was wrong? People wanted to know. But definitely, if there was something that was kind of really bad happening, you should definitely take a break or get some medical help or something like that. And this is a lot of what ARMYs had been saying on the hashtag. I have a hunch, just a hunch, don't know for sure, but I feel like BTS would be the type of people who would prefer not to seek help when they get an injury, would prefer to kind of take care of it themselves. And then continue on doing their normal thing without telling anyone, without getting medical attention. But as a dancer, you definitely need routine checkups, just like athletes do, because dancing, I think, is a sport. Under the Yoongi hashtag, I want to read some of the tweets, and definitely a bunch of people who had a lot to say about this. One person wrote, "Here you can see that the members aren't raising their arms high enough because it might be hard for Suga. He really must be in a lot of pain. Please go to the hospital. We know that your love for music is important, but your health is 100 times more important." I do think if he has something, he should definitely get it looked at. Although we don't actually know if it's like really bad or not. I do personally believe that BTS or Big Hit has kind of the best medical doctors in the industry. I mean, they kind of have to, because one, if anything were to happen to the boys ethically, that wouldn't be great, right? That wouldn't be a great look for the company. That wouldn't be great for the people there. Obviously, everyone loves BTS. It would be awful. And they would feel awful for not taking the proper precautions to ensure that something like that doesn't happen. But also, second, it's really bad for their business. And if you lose one member, it's not great for your business. So don't worry about them getting help. I think they got help. Those doctors probably make millions. Some people had been kind of connecting the dots and talked about an alleged shoulder brace that maybe Suga was using or wearing underneath to help. And then basically asked if this brace that they kind of found online was the one that Suga was using. Because in recent selfies that Suga posted, you can kind of see some sort of brace or some sort of clothing underneath his like hoodie or something. The fact that y'all found a brace. There literally must have been like so many of them and y'all like found what you thought was it. But Suga actually did come out and address this, and he spoke about this. Of course, if it's trending on the Tweetster and it is that big, then he definitely has to come out and say something. We definitely want to know if he's okay. So he actually decided to come out in the concert and actually say something. He said this: "Hello, this is Suga. My shoulder was a bit uncomfortable during the opening performance, so I couldn't do the choreography properly. But it's totally fine now, so you don't need to worry about it. Let's have fun today. Let's go." I am glad he's okay. I'm glad my baby's okay. Me and the hubby, we don't FaceTime every day, so sometimes I don't know when stuff like this happens. He gonna have to tell me during a concert. But there's a lot of stuff that apparently happened during this weekend kind of concert. BTS kind of went all out and they kind of showed different sides of themselves. Different sides that make me happy to hear that they're human. And like just like the rest of us, they're just trying to get through 2020 as well. It's a crazy year and things have happened this year that I would have never dreamed would have ever happened in the history of whatever. But on the first day of the concert, Jimin was actually crying on stage. He kind of had a touching speech with all of us. He talked about his true feelings kind of about concerts and what he felt like when those concerts were postponed. He felt like everything was unfair due to the pandemic and obviously he wasn't happy about it. He started to cry speaking about how hard it was for him, that obviously they couldn't perform together as a group for a long time. And I think they mean live shows. He talked about wanting to kind of share these happy moments and of course share music with everybody. It was very emotional. And it's really nice to know that we weren't the only ones kind of affected by the pandemic, that even they were, and that they obviously care a lot about it too. But most importantly, it's really nice to know that they want to be on stage. They want to be performing. They're singers. The main goal of most singers is to tour. Obviously, this is crazy, but not just crazy to see what they have gone through this year, but it really shows how much they love performing and how much they love their job, if we didn't know this already. And of course, if they ever got stripped of that, they would be really, really sad. It's inspiring to see people who care so much about what they do. Now, the concert was definitely set up in a very unique way. As I mentioned, there was webcams kind of in the back. You could see some ARMY's faces. I imagine this was done in a way where BTS was able to kind of feel everyone's energy and then see people's faces. And it's probably as close as we can get to an actual concert. But as emotional as that was, it was definitely funny to hear that all the other members of BTS had then later made fun of Jimin's speech, the one where he's talking about this and crying. So much so that the second day of concert, Jimin actually had to come out and say something. Okay, I will not cry. I think crying once is enough, guys. The members made fun of me so much yesterday after I cried, so I won't be doing that again. I'm so happy that the concert ended well. I love when BTS or Jimin shows emotion. Give us the emotions. I would love to see Jimin's emotions in every concert. I wish Zaddy would cry more. Zaddy is sexy when he cries. I don't wish him to cry sad tears, just happy ones. But I definitely think it's really funny that the other members did make fun of Jimin for this. It's hilarious. I imagine all the other members just playfully teasing Jimin. But hey, it's a real, it's a raw, and it's what we want to see. It made me feel so much better. I think human interaction has definitely been lacking a lot. And when we kind of hear other people going through something and suffering just as we are, or at least from the same things that we all are, it makes us feel better. Misery does love company, right? However, everyone seems to be really trying to hide these sad emotions, even during a time like this when I don't think anyone should be. We're going through this together and I don't want to sit here and pretend that I'm super happy even if I'm not. But I imagine Jimin was happy to do this concert, and that is a good thing to know. Thank you so much, Jimin, for sharing that, and of course, happy birthday. Have a great birthday. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for your comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over to my Patreon, kind of check that out. I upload a lot of exclusive content over there that you can't really get over here due to copyright and things like that. Sometimes the video will just get blocked altogether if it's uploaded on YouTube. So I do upload that on my Patreon. You get reaction videos like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, also reality TV show reactions, and all that jazz. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. Link in the top of the description down below. Also, anything you contribute over there also gives back to this channel. I have a video over there explaining all of that. So make sure you go and check that out as well. With that said, there's 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of the video. So click on one of those. I'll see you over there. Bye.